the invite to Roll20 will be in the messenger. Did I add you to that, Scott? I meant to add. I think I did add you back to the Expanse chat.
You did, yeah, you did.
The old messages might not come up if he's been added. I don't know if that's still a thing or not.
They should have, right?
I didn't see any Expanse unless it's like ages ago.
I did it literally today, mate. Hold on.
Aye.
I'll message you it right now.
Yeah, because I remember seeing. I remember seeing.
That's it. I got it now.
Yeah.
And then you messaged me the thing on the day as well.
No. Hello, welcome to Sanity Check Gaming. I did go live, and then we got immediately drawn into a conversation about messaging. Hi, anyone that ever views or uses. How are you? Today we're going to be making characters. The most exciting thing to watch. But you know, we're interested people. I'm just gonna.
We're awesome.
We are pretty awesome. I've met us. We're pretty good. There we are. Put this stream on as well. Zan, hurrah. Oh Christ, I forgot to screen share's what I'm doing as well. Ooh. Maybe I
Best
should.
be careful what you're doing.
Oh well, I did
Don't
not see.
your history, mate.
Ha! I did
Just
actually notice it.
kidding.
Yeah, like watch what tabs have we opened. I did actually notice it yesterday. See when I was when I was playing that game, I was like, oh, I've shared the DM screens to Twitch, which means everything I'm opening because I kept losing things and opening and closing everything. Like that must be interesting for the viewer, seeing me like frantically try and find the next part of the adventure, and then go. I went by it about 5 times, and it's like, there it is there. But to be fair, I don't really think you can read what's on the screen unless you've got quite a big screen. So whatever. I suppose if you full screened, it'd be quite easy. Anyway, hi, we've done that bit. We've got some of us here tonight, and oh, should I put it on the PDF? I'll go to PDF, won't it? It has got the PDF. How exciting! Anyway. Where was I going with this? Yeah, we're making characters for the Expanse, yay! Which nobody really cares about apart from me. And then I think Leon actually watched the full thing.
I really like it, actually.
It is cold, shitty, crappy to live in space. It's what I actually imagine it will be in the future. Just like Earth is overpopulated,
Probably,
and we go mining in space, and it sucks to be anyone apart from the people that own it. Basically, like it is now, it's much more extreme.
If humans went to space but they still kept capitalism, that's what would how it would end up. You know what I mean?
So literally, what we will definitely do when we go to space, then.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was thinking of like Wally, just fat cunts in space.
Yeah, well, if in like other shows, they usually have like a different like
all I'm hearing is Red Dwarf.
That's actually pretty close, but without the funniness. So
I want the Red Dwarf's funniness. Is why I watch Red Dwarf.
Red Dwarf.
I'm cool with you like treating it like Red Dwarf, but like in Red, so I was going to say without the danger to death. However, in the first episode of the Red Dwarf, literally the entire crew is killed due to an oversight on the ship, which kind of proves how how little.
It's Red Dwarf.
It's a very famous British sci-fi show from the. I'd guess it would be early to mid-90s, but it did kind of carry on throughout the years after that.
Yeah. Who is it that's not seen it?
Logan. And
no, I've seen it. I say so. No, I've seen it. I say so. It's like Red Dwarf then, just because the intro you said.
You're no longer part of this family until you've watched every episode.
I've seen Red Dwarf. That mad guy for Coronation Street's in it. I can't mind his name, but he's in it.
I've just shared the Twitch screen to the Twitch.
Ironically,
on and on and on and on.
Ironically, what Logan just said is my selling point to 90% of the people who are trying to get to watch Red Dwarf. Because if I say that, yeah, it's a comedy in space, it's like people are like, if I'm like, isn't that the guy for Coronation Street's in it? It's like,
I can't mind his name.
That means nothing. I mean, I've never seen
Coronation Street. Craig Charles is who you're thinking of.
There you go.
Although apparently people have stopped watching Coronation Street as much.
Really?
Getting really like nasty with its storylines and stuff like that. Like it's getting.
I know that
it's
the
all
ones
bad,
are
gloom.
standards. I know that.
Welcome to the Expanse. So welcome to Sanity Check Gaming discusses some soaps that we don't watch.
Soap operas, that's what they're called. Yeah.
Actually, I'm next talk.
That's fair enough. Right, so yeah, I mean,
does that mean I have to watch it?
Yeah, you have to watch the soaps to understand what the Expanse is about.
every
Oh,
episode
no.
of Coronation Street ever filmed.
Oh my god, yeah.
Holy shit, that would be a
It'll only
lot.
take you 18 years.
That's
Right,
It's
that's
probably
all.
been going since the 50s, is it not?
I know, that's why it says it's like consistent watching would probably be 18 years.
Oh, these are. Yeah, what? Hey, Jim, how's it going, mate?
Gypsy.
Jim, I thought you done pipey drum stuff on Monday. You keep turning up on Mondays and being like, "Hi," like, oh,
He
you
does.
need to keep
Sorry,
that
I need
open,
to
mate. If
change-
you
You just
close it,
reminded him of his pipey drum stuff to go to.
it's like, oh my god.
James, oh shit.
Yeah,
That'll
you
be funny.
need to keep it open, mate. Otherwise, it'll
Mess up
it
everything.
it messes up the Twitch.
Yep.
Anyone can
messed
open
up
anything. It doesn't have to be that. There we go. Just leave it open, mate. Otherwise, I should have fixed it. To be fair, it was just laziness on my part.
No,
But,
it's all good.
we're not playing anything, so. Oh shit! Bye. Oh, Jim, you're so funny. Anyway, right. So we're going to do a bit of character creation tonight, which I thought would be interesting. It won't be, but it's a thing we can do. So before we go any further, I'll take you through it step by step. There is quite a comprehensive thing. A lot of it's rolling dice. So what I'll do is I'll give you the option to roll dice, or you can just pick something you like the sound of. But I kind of like the idea of doing it random style for the rolling dice, but I'm not forcing any decisions on my players.
I'll
Doing-
probably do the dice roll.
I thought you might do that, Rachel, just because you don't know much about the setting, so fuck it. Leon, you said you had an idea in your head, so you are welcome to just see what fits your character best. Everyone else can just do as they please. All right. So, the first one and the easiest one is what would you like to play as? The three races, so to speak, are Belter, Earther, and Martian. If you don't know what to pick, you can just roll me a d6.
I'm gonna pick that one and I'm gonna go for the Earther.
What's the difference between each?
I got a 2.
Well,
What did I get?
Elf-
The
For
Belter,
two-
you're born in space. The Earth one, obviously, you're from Earth, and then you get out into a new life to go to space. And the other one is, what is it?
Well, I mean, more or less, you're right. Basically, your Belter is a character that's more comfortable in like freefall all the time because they've never lived in dense gravity, and you get like bonuses to your speaking the Belter language and kind of various skills that Belters use. The Earthers tend to be bigger and stronger because they're used to dense gravity, and the Martians are kind of a mixture of the two. It's not going to affect much of it because the game what we'll do is we'll have it in a low gravity setting, but more or less what Rachel was saying, yeah. And it's also just kind of it would have something to do with like the way you would treat other characters. Earthers are probably going to be, at least to start with, a bit shitty towards Belters because they're kind of viewed as an underclass, and Belters are not going to maybe trust Martians or Earthers because they've not been treated well by them. But what we would do is like this crew's been maybe flung together, so you'd maybe develop that relationship over time. If you want to read it, it goes from page 28 on the manual. Now the fun thing about Belters is that they're very tall and willowy, because they've been born in outer space, so they tend to be big, tall, skinny guys with like big heads, or women with big heads. But yeah. So who rolled what? Logan, you rolled a 2. So if you make a note on your character sheet that you're a Belter. He's a Belter.
Where do we
So
write
is that
this?
social class?
If you open your character sheet, Rach, it should be in there.
Because social class is its own thing. Because I have read a tiny bit.
Aye.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it on background?
Was it Origin?
Hold on a second.
Where's Origin?
Next to social class.
Let me have a look. I would say it is in. Just have a look
Maybe
for this, actually.
background?
No, because background's its own thing.
Yeah, it's not social
See what
class.
it says. See what it says. Origin. Put Origin. Put that in there.
Where the fuck's Origin?
Am
Am I
Next to
blind?
social
Oh,
class.
nope, I've seen it.
Yep. It says level.
I thought
and then
it was
underneath
part of the level bit.
Yeah, yeah. One underneath it.
Ah, dear. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Yeah. I knew this would be a bit funny to deal with. Which was cool. And Scott, I have opened up a character sheet for you, mate, and there you go. Flego Fat. That's a terrible name, but that is what they're called. Please change it. So everyone just so what did you pick?
I
So
want to be fat.
if you want to be fat, mate, you can. Leon, what did you? So Rachel went for an Earther. Leon, what were you going for, mate?
My idea was an Earther.
Earther, okay. Now, fun fact: if you pick Martian, you get to speak in a Texas drawl because all Martians speak like they're from Texas.
Thank God.
They didn't speak like Texas in the movies, in the TV show, did
Yeah, they
they?
do. The Indian guy with the Texas accent. He's the pilot of the ship.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
maybe
I
more
can't.
pronounced.
I can't do a Texas
Ah,
stroll, so
hell
I'm going
yeah,
to go
oh, hell
Martin.
yeah, today. All that kind of stuff. Like, just to be like a cowboy. You don't have to, obviously, but it did make me laugh because in the books they talk about how when the people from Earth went to Mars, there was a small contingent of people from Texas, and just weirdly that was the accent that stuck. And after like a generation, everyone spoke like they were from Texas, so everyone just adopted the accent, which I thought was really funny.
That's
Belters talk a kind of like really interesting language. If you can like look up examples of it, I can't do it justice. I've been trying it, and when I do it, it just doesn't come out right.
From what I've read of that, I'm guessing it's a mix of Russian, Chinese, English, and like Scandinavian.
They got a lot of Creole in
bloody
it as
hell.
well.
That's quite a mix.
That's the whole point of Belters. It's like the underclass from everywhere basically got emptied out and then stuck on the asteroids. So everyone that was considered like everyone that kind of like was just desperate for anything, they all moved to the belt because they thought it was a chance at a new life, and instead it was just a new place to exploit them. And then over time it kind of developed, and
So like Elon Musk's fantasy.
Effectively, like all corporate fantasies, is to go somewhere where there's no corporate oversight, and then just use people as effectively slave labor because you can't save up enough money to leave. But then, if you keep enough people and they're alive, then they're always going to develop some kind of society and stuff happens. So they develop their own kind of culture. But the Belters are very fun. But yeah, if you can look up the way they speak, it's quite interesting. Right, so Earther, Logan got a belter. He's a belter. Scott, what did you go for?
I was
Martian.
trying that, but I don't know what to say.
Sorry, Scott, what did you say, mate?
Martian.
Martian, thank you. So we've got a bit of a mix. I like it very much. That's cool. There we go. Now
I'll have to practice my rooster voice. I say. You a belter, son?
But that works for you, yeah. If that's what you're going to go with, I'm pleased with this. Right, so
Now get you back to work.
now,
It's gonna get bad though if I go upper class.
You were correct. I was thinking about that. You don't want to say that.
now for the next section, it is 2d6 your roll, and this is going to give you outsider, lower class, middle class, or upper class.
I rolled a 7 for Earther, which means I'm middle class. Hey, that's not bad.
My dice.
That's probably one of the better places to be.
I'm
You can
happy
only
My-
with that.
My character's meant to be upper class.
Is that what you've chose, or is that what you've rolled?
I'm choosing.
No, that's fine, mate.
A
If you want to choose
7
upper
from-
class, absolutely fine. You go for it.
I
If
got
I'm
a
going with one in
9.
the head.
You got a 9,
Should've-
and
should've-
you're a Martian, mate, so that puts you in your middle class as well. Sorry, Leon, what were you saying?
I'm an outsider.
And Logan's an outsider, great.
Oh,
Two middle class and upper class and an outsider, that's not going to cause friction at all.
No.
Sorry, Leon, I'll talk to you twice, mate. What were you saying?
Should I talk about what my idea for my character is before putting everything down, or should I just tell you at the end of it?
That was at the end of it, mate. See if it's not going to work at all and it's going to be bonkers, then you're definitely doing it.
Yeah.
Right? And see if it fits quite well, we'll change it. Because that would be funnier.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, once you're rolling it, so we can't do in the class. Okay. Now. So that's all fine. Now, these are all kind of examples of things. However, The classy stuff starts on page 29. It just kind of gives you a rough example of what they mean. But to be honest, you're all smart. You can guess outsider. What that means, that's someone who lives outside
He's a
society.
homeless guy.
Well, kind of. It could be. But criminals, non-conformists, people that just don't live within the mainstream of society. But yeah, kind of. And then lower class is just basically what we would call your working class. Middle class is your management class. And upper class is the cunts.
Yes.
Yep. The worst of the worst.
Okay.
Now, backgrounds. We'll get used to do this individually because this will be more fun. Logan, roll me a d6.
No. Can I do it?
Fuck you.
Do it yourself.
You know we're saying
got a
everything, you're
one.
gone to Lee.
A 1, brilliant. You are a Bohemian. Do you know what Bohemian is, Logan?
What?
I didn't think
Human
you would.
Rhapsody?
Is that
Yeah.
like a free spirit?
Yeah, that's what it's. Yeah, Bohemians like kind of your artists. Like they might live in a commune. They might be like into like slam poetry. So definitely what Logan would love
I'm
to
a
be.
fucking hippie.
Kind of, mate. Kind of.
You better,
What the
you
fuck?
better stay in character and do some poetry for us.
Hey,
Please
man.
do.
Never got
Please.
Whilst wearing the wee beret.
Rochelle, for your middle class, please roll me a d6.
I rolled a 1, so I am academic.
You are indeed. So you are a learned person, perhaps from. But we'll get into that. I'll read through the that background with you. And Scott, what are you rolling for this?
5, and by the way, we're hearing ourselves back this.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Who's playing that?
Are we always? Is it going round and round?
It
It's
might be
stopped
my stream. I've just muted it there.
Okay.
Is that fixed it, Scott?
Check,
it's
check, 1,
fixed.
2, check, check. Okay. Sorry, Scott. What did you say you rolled bit?
5.
Like you are middle class. You're a trade person, so some kind of merchant type. But we'll go into that in a moment.
I am a Texas merchant middle class. This is not looking good.
That's gonna be interesting.
Did you vote Trump? Sorry.
I'm just looking at
Sorry.
history, what I'm thinking this is based off of, and
Oh,
I'm not liking
no
it.
way. Logan, not Logan. Leon, you can be an. What's he gonna pick?
So I have from the upper class backgrounds.
Uh-huh.
I have aristocratic,
Uh-huh.
corporate, or
Yep.
cosmopolitan, right?
Yep.
Probably cosmopolitan fits into it the most.
Oh, you're going a
probably.
fancy boy. You're gonna be playing a fancy boy.
Isn't that a magazine?
It's a magazine, Rich,
Kind
yes.
of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone who is
I think so.
cosmopolitan is like you could be like second generation or third generation money in this case, or fourth or fifth generation money. Like the kind of
Oh.
like third son of like a rich family.
So
He's-
like the tip top top.
Yeah, like the one that like they don't really expect much from because the first couple of kids have taken over the business and that. So he's like the son that kind of gets given like vice president in charge of like chairs. They don't really expect much of him, and exciting.
Yeah.
Leon is literally going to be playing like a fancy boy. I'm very excited. Okay, now the first person who rolled was Leo. No, it was Logan. Now, let me read this to you. You've got Bohemian. So you grew up
Yeah.
in experimental. There we go. You grew up in an experimental, eccentric, or creative community. Perhaps you belong to a commune or an artist colony, or some off-the-grid intentional community. You may be the child of a group or polyamorous marriage, particularly on Earth. Well, you would be on Earth though. You're unfamiliar with some of the things people take for granted, but had plenty of opportunities to expand your horizons. You may be trying to fit into mainstream society after some time away, or you might revel in your offbeat lifestyle. Now, what this gives you, mate, so make a note of this. You get a +1 to communication. You get a focus. Now you get a choice here. A focus on communication, which is performing, or intelligence. What would you rather have?
Right.
Well, you
Intelligence.
Intelligence, okay. And your last talent is carousing or performance. You know what carousing is?
No, but I know what Crescent is.
Hey, I'm sure you do,
Not
mate.
far off the same thing.
Carousing is basically when you go out drinking, like you're carousing, like you're making friends with people. You can maybe get information of people in bars, and you're good at having fun.
I'll say aye.
Yeah. So which one are you going to go with there? Carousing.
That one.
Ah, okay, that's fine.
Carousing, aye. What was the +1 for again?
It was the +1
the
to
beginning
communication, mate.
communication. Okay.
Okay. Rachel, what was it you were again? Academic.
Yeah, but academic. That's
Okay.
me.
You spend a lot more time in school and academic environments than your peers. Perhaps you lived at a boarding school or someone in your family worked at a college or university. You're inclined to be a bit more bookish and to know your way around academic institutions. What this is going to give you is a +1 to intelligence.
Okay.
Now, this one's weird. It says focus, intelligence, choose one. So just put intelligence in out, and if that breaks down to more stuff, you may have to pick one of them, okay? It just says choose one, which seems weird. And then your
So
talent, just put
so
intelligence in now.
2 to intelligence.
Well, just write the
It
word
won't let me
intelligence.
put anything in intelligence.
Well, I meant just if you've just got like a book or like a notebook, just write
Yeah, okay,
intelligence in
I'll
it,
do
and
that.
we'll work that out in a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
And then your talent is either knowledge or linguistics. So which one would you prefer, knowledge or linguistics?
What's linguistics again?
That is
I
like
can't remember.
talking and like languages and stuff. So like you can maybe translate
Yeah.
different.
Well, I'll do that one.
Linguistics.
So language and linguistics.
So yeah, just linguistics, but yeah, it means language. Okay.
No, it's intelligence, not what.
Yeah. So abilities +1 to intelligence. Your focus is intelligence, and then your talent is linguistics. Okay. Anytime you make like repeat stuff, guys, just say to me, don't like fall behind. It's rising. Scott, you were a merchant, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not what I meant to go. Where's okay? Military, labour, suburban. Where the hell are you? Trade. Sorry, trade. Here we go. Right. Your family lived off a skillet trade of some sort. It might not have been glamorous, far from it, quite possibly. Oh, sorry, it's not skillet, skilled trade, but it definitely paid the bills. You've picked up some practical lessons and skills along the way. Perhaps you are ready to enter the family trade yourself, but you yearn for something new or even dangerous. What you get is an ability of +1 to your dexterity. So you get a +1 to your dexterity.
No.
Okay, your focus can be either dexterity crafting or intelligence engineering. What would you prefer?
No, I'll go dexterity crafting.
Okay, so dexterity crafting, and your final talent is improvisation or maker.
What's the difference?
Not got a clue. I'm going to assume that improvisation is like improvising like repairs or something, and maker be building things from scratch. If we find this is a bit weird later on, we'll change it. But this is really just to build a character now.
I'll go maker.
Okay, cool. Okay, now going back to this, there are some benefits of being a bohemian. A bohemian? Let's see what they are. There it is there. Right, Logan, roll me
Aye.
2d6.
2 seconds.
Oh, no, sorry.
2d6.
Before I do that, no, I forgot Leon. Sorry, Leon, I forgot you there, mate.
Sorry.
Cosmopolitan. Let's have a look for Cosmopolitan. Your aristot. Right, so this was the aristocratic benefits, yeah? Okay.
No, it's the cosmopolitan.
Yeah, but you are an aristocrat, though, aren't you?
No, I think upper class cosmopolitan.
Oh, upper class. Sorry, mate, that was my mistake. Right, so it was cosmopolitan. Right. Okay, the cosmopolitan benefits are: you get a +1 to intelligence. And you get to choose between communication etiquette or intelligence current affairs.
Which of those do you think would be more useful for the game?
I'm going to say intelligence, current affairs seems more useful.
Yep.
But I could be talking shit. That's cool. Current affairs seems to be useful. Like, you go to some place, like, here's what's happening in the place. That makes sense. And your talent would be knowledge or observation.
I'll choose observation.
Nice. Okay, now. Okay. Logan. Roll me
Yeah.
2d6.
True.
12. 260s. Well done.
Yeah.
You're going to get an automatic +1 to perception. So just make sure you've made a note of that somewhere, because then when we do your actual stats, you'll get the +1 to perception in there. All right, mate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool. Rach, roll me 2d6.
Yep. That'll be a 10.
You get a focus on intelligence, which I think you already had, didn't you?
I have that already.
Right, roll again.
I rolled an 8.
An 8, a +1 to
+1.
perception. So it's an automatic +1 to perception when we roll your stats. Scott, let's find you. I have it. Right, Scott, roll me 2d6, please, mate.
I think that's a 9. Aye.
9. You get a focus. Your focus is on fighting, grappling.
That's odd for what I'm on, but okay.
Yeah, sure. Your Texan trader just likes to have a little wrestle. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. And Leon, who's a cosmopolitan, give me 2d6, please, mate.
I got a 2 and a 5.
That'll be a 7 then, yeah? You get a +1 to communication, mate. So you get a +1 to your communication skill once we're rolling some skills.
To communication.
You know how hard it is to resist being stone cold in space now.
I mean, first of all, you absolutely now have to play Stone Cold. No matter what happens, just every time you walk out, you're smashing beers together.
I trade beer.
Just stomps down, swinging your shoulders. This is this is part of the actual Stone Cold says so. And here's what I'm going to trade with you today. That's more like Macho Man, to be fair. But yeah, I'm into it, mate. If you want to be Stone Cold, I'm 100% into it.
What?
It's like just was it John?
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold says so. A guy his voice.
Well, you'll have to look up his voice because we both tried and we both failed. I'm like, I loved Stone Cold.
Oh, I know what he says. I just can't do his voice. It's too Texas grizzle.
I think it's because he's got such kind of a low. His voice almost sounds like it's broken somehow, like a growl.
Aye.
Dave, have you seen just a side note? Have you seen the video of him and the Undertaker tasting wine and doing wine tasting? It's brilliant.
I haven't, but it sounds like something I would watch.
It was really good. It's just like you gotta smell the bouquet of this wine. You're like, Stone Cold knows what a bouquet is. That seems weird. But yeah, he's really into it.
That means alcohol.
Well, I think they can
remember it used to be called Stunning Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's true, yes.
Or I think it was just Stunning Steve Austin, actually. I don't think he had the Stone Cold. It wasn't until he damaged his neck that
the story I heard about the Stone Cold was that he was trying to find a name to be a wrestler, and his wife at the time says, "Look, you better drink your tea before you get Stone Cold." He's like, "Aha!" I don't know if that's true or not. That sounds like a made-up wrestling story. Anyway, Logan. The next thing is for your profession. Now, I will give you the option. Do you want to roll for it or do you want to pick it? I will read you the choices, right? If that helps.
Right.
It'd be a brawler,
There you go.
a survivalist, a criminal, a scavenger, a fixer, or an artist.
I like them all except for artists.
Well, it's up to you, mate. You can, if you can't decide, roll for it.
And if
I've
you
got to
get a
roll for
6,
it,
just
like that.
re-roll it.
I mean, if you really
Is it
don't like
D6?
six, yeah, roll a d6, mate. Yeah. If you really don't want to go on artist, you can re-roll sixes. You are a survivalist, so one of those like doomsday
okay.
prepper kind of guys, except on a belter and in space. So I guess maybe
So
you.
Just collecting all the tins.
So I'm Stone Cold and he's Alex Jones.
He's got a
Pretty much.
belter podcast. That's fantastic. Yeah. Okay, now my two middle class people. Your professions would be pilot, security, professional, scholar, merchant, or politician. Now you can either marry them up to the skills you picked, or you can just roll for it. Up to you.
I got a pilot.
Pilot, solid.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Academic pilot. Pilot that knows what all the buttons mean. Scott, how would you like to pick this?
I'll just go back into my merchant.
So you're just going to pick merchant. That makes sense. Your merchant who's good at wrestling. And Leon. Commander, explorer, dilettante. I don't know if that's how you say that word. Expert, executive, or socialite. And I thought a dilettante and socialite were basically the same thing.
No, dilettante is kind of like they like to spend their money, they like to go adventures and that.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not gonna lie, none of those really match it. Really.
Well, I thought you were a
You
fancy
might be
boy.
your character might be that you were thinking middle class, because you could still have that your family's wealthy and like if you got a job in mind, it might be more middle class in this,
No,
because that's the upper class sounds like noble, like royalty level where you're not even working.
Yeah, he doesn't have a job.
Well,
Basically.
maybe a dilettante or a socialite.
Aye,
A
dilettante
socialite.
would fight then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Socialize and like they like to go out and party and like have guests over and stuff like that. Dilettante will go like explore somewhere.
Yeah. So
Okay.
whichever
But
one.
they'll
that's actually perfect
explore
then.
somewhere, as in they'll pay other people to explore and watch them.
Yeah. Imagine it more along the lines of like he turns up and then the people do the work and then he comes at the end when they've made him a nice place to stay and he's like, oh yeah, this is a really nice bit of the asteroid. And then he'll take some
Yep,
wine. Yeah. Okay.
100% that.
That's fine. Good. I'm glad we've got that sorted out. Okay, now there is more to this. Logan, what is it you ended up being, mate?
Survivalist.
Survivalist, right. It's actually quite bloody in depth, this. Survivalist. Here we go. Okay, right. Now, there's a couple of things it says here, so just make a note of them all, alright?
Good.
I'll just, there's two words, don't worry about it, mate. Like, I'm not going to make you write loads of stuff. So, survivalist, it says physical and outsider. Now, I think you already knew you were an outsider, and physical, I'm assuming, means that that's what your main stat's going to be, alright? What it says is survival is the most basic challenge of life, and you have learned how to do it, whether because you had to or because you prefer it that way. You know how to make do without many of the products and social networks most people depend on for their everyday lives. Now you have a couple of focuses. You got to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Your first one is a focus on accuracy in bows or pistols, or perception, which would be a survival skill.
Well, I've only got one already in perception, so accuracy.
Well, no, you've got a +1 to perception, so this is like a different. It's up to you, mate. If you want the accuracy one, take the accuracy one.
Accuracy.
Right, so make sure you make accuracy, bows, and pistols. Just make a note of that. All right. Now your other one is your talent. Another talent you're going to get. It's either fringer or tactical awareness. Now, unfortunately, I don't know what fringer means. I'm going to guess someone who lives in the fringes of society and can maybe like meet other people that way. I'll look it up though. Don't worry about it. And tactical awareness means I guess you're going to get some kind of benefit in combat.
I'm guessing it's military tactics,
That
like
would be my
you'll be able to
assumption,
plan
yeah.
things. And
Like
I'm guessing
something
fringer means I'm a homeless person.
These would be my assumptions, but I'm going to guess that they expand on that slightly. I will try and find it as we go on, mate. So you can always see if you want to write them both down, and then we can maybe tailor it a little bit later on.
This
What's
is
the
just how
tactical one called?
Say again, mate. Tactical awareness or fringer.
I'll go for tactical awareness.
Okay.
This is what happens when no one reads the book before starting.
Well, it's like it's such a lot. It was like I was going to read it, right, and it's like then I had to do that game yesterday, and I was like, I'm not going to read this full fucking book. So I read like this, like the character creation. I was like, I'm not reading that other stuff. It's like feats. What feats do you pick? How many feats is there? 100. Fuck you, feats. We'll find out as we play. Right, Rochelle, you are a pilot of some description, I believe. Is that correct?
Yup.
Let's see what pilots can do. Right, pilot. Yours is really super simple. Your two things it makes a mention of is physical and middle. So I'm going to guess that physical is going to be an important stat to you. You are the best when you're at the controls, so you have the nerve and skill needed to make your ship do what you need to do. It becomes an extension of your body. It's humming as essential as the beat of your heart. Your focus is dexterity piloting. And your talent, which is one option, is pilot. So a pilot's talent is pilot. Not piloting, just the word pilot. Which could mean all kinds of things. Perhaps pilot courses between asteroids. Okay.
Yeah.
Scott, what was yours again? Was it trade?
Merchant.
Where the fuck is that? Oh no, that's an extra thing. Professional, television pilot, scholar. Merchant. Here we go. Okay, Scott, your two things it mentions are social and middle, which you're middle class, so social must be an important skill for you. Money makes the world go round, and you're part of the time-honoured tradition. You know how to buy at a discount, sell at a profit, and make trades that ensure you come out ahead of the game. You might be involved in trade, work, or in retail or wholesale, or deal in rarities that require knowledge to identify and eloquence to sell. Your focus is communications, bargaining, or intelligence, business. What would you prefer?
I'll go with bargaining.
Yeah, it does sound like it'd be a useful skill. That sounds like being proficient in persuasion. It's like that will come in useful at some point.
I do think I was gonna say it's like it seems like as much as business could be fun, I feel like that's gotta be like maybe one roll the entire game. Maybe.
This often happens in TTRPGs. You're like, I'm going to pick the general skills because it looks great to get that one roll right. I'm quite willing just to roll the dice on that one and hope for the best because it's probably
and
going
then
to be a game maker.
and then it's like that one roll I'll fail. It's the one thing my character's based around, and I'll fail it.
And your talent is affluent or contacts, which I can probably guess what they mean. Affluent means you've got access to money, and contacts means you've got access to contacts so you can sell things to, or maybe like find out information from. So what would you prefer, affluence or contacts? In real life, I prefer affluence.
I'm picking affluence.
Yeah, that seems like that'd be useful. It's like in Call of Cthulhu when you realise if you roll really high for your wealth level, in most situations you're like, I give them money. Okay, that solved that problem.
It's like contacts could be fun in a campaign, but it's like because then it gives you a character to play with in that, or at least a few.
It's one of these things like if we ever got back to doing the space trading game, that would be quite useful to have that, but that's a different thing.
And then I would also choose business for that game as well, because you actually have to do accounts.
Yeah, all the fun of doing accounts. Dilettante. Right, Leon. The two things it mentions here are skilled and upper. So if you make upper's upper class and just write down the word dilettante skilled in case we need that later. With so many possible things to learn and do, how can you choose? You're happy to sample from the banquet of possibilities laid out before you, learning as much as you can about something before moving on to the next interest or option. Your focus is either intelligence, research, or perception. What do you prefer, mate?
My guy isn't particularly intelligent, but he does like traveling, so he might.
Well, that could also be part of your skill. Like, it could be things you picked up, like languages.
I mean, it doesn't. Like, it could be intelligent, but not particularly well educated. Like, he just picks things up quick, but puts them down so fast. He has like a cursory knowledge of lots of things.
I'm gonna go for research. I think that might be good.
Okay. And your talent is improvisation or know-it-all.
So, I remember one of the things you said with Call of Cthulhu. You felt like these skills were too specific. These skills feel very specific.
I didn't write this game. I just like the setting, right? And I'm sure that none of this stuff will ever come up. So, as you have noticed, I try and not make you roll that much at all. You just tell me what cool thing you want to do, and then every now and again I make you roll a dice. So improvisation or know-it-all.
I'm gonna go for know-it-all.
Your character sounds insufferable. A rich guy that turns up and just.
I'm gonna hate them.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hate
Me personally, I'm not sure about my character.
I'm going to steal all his money.
Please
But to be
do.
fair, it actually makes sense. That's actually a good connection for you two. You could be selling something because you just know this rich kind of playboy that likes all kinds of weird stuff that you find. And like Logan could be the one that maybe found it somewhere and then found you, so you know.
Oh, I was also thinking, like, as in the fact that I normally sell beer to belters and that, and I've moved into champagne, and it's like
champagne.
And I'm trying to convince him this is a really good option to invest in.
Do you have any of those champagne guns that they have going around?
Look at these wine bottles.
Of course, my son. I have 10 champagne guns. I'm a good champagne salesman.
Oh, great! Any made of gold, like solid plated gold, anything?
Like
give me 5 minutes and I'll find one.
Okay,
Quickly paints a gold.
He said solid plated gold. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think he knows what that means. So, and the way it can work quite easily there is that Logan's maybe found something, dealt with you in the past, and the pilot, that's fairly easy. It's like at all points you've probably had to use a pilot, which introduces you all to Rachel. So yeah, see.
Yeah.
Well, if he's a criminal underground person, he could be the person that I'm getting the beer in that fight.
It all makes sense. So I think we've done that bit. That was pretty good. Okay, now there is another section, believe it or not. This is they're highly special. I think this is the drive for your character. Now, Jesus. We going to do that? That seems a bit much. Okay, this is weird. All right. Roll me, Logan. Roll me 1d6.
Okay.
Tell me the number.
No.
Okay.
3.
3. You're
no,
rolling.
wait, aye.
Okay.
Why is it done 2? No, mind, aye, 3. I got mixed up.
So just to clarify, your dice said 3, yeah? Okay. Yeah. You're choosing from column 1. Roll me a d6.
I don't know why they just don't do like a D12 thing.
I think because they use a 2d6 system, they've tried to like force this all into like a 2d6 system.
No, I just mean like doing 1 to 12 instead of 2 columns.
I got 5.
Also, with 2d6, you have a higher chance of getting higher numbers than you do on a d12.
Yeah. Yeah,
because you can, at the very least get 2 on 2d6.
Yeah.
A d12, you can get 1.
But yeah, I think Rachel, because the whole system this one uses, it's all based around D6s, so they won't give you a D12 because they're working the assumption that nobody has D12s. They don't know that you have 1,000 D12s, and you're actually sitting on a pile of D12s right now. Right, Logan. So what was you got on your D6? The second one, mate.
5.
5. Okay. Write down the word judge. Fuck those guys. This is getting exciting. This is hyper specific. Rachel, roll me a d6.
That will be a 1.
You're also going from column 1.
And that will be a 4.
You got ecstatic.
Okay.
Interesting. Let's see where this goes. Scott, roll me a d6.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I am
Four.
ecstatic, but
You got 4, Scott. You're rolling in column 2. Roll me a d6.
A 1.
You got networker, which actually seems like it'll quite well fit with the trade, so
makes
that's not too
sense.
bad, yeah. Leon, you have picked everything so far, so if you want to pick this, you can. Do you want to know what the options are? You can look at them if you want. They're on page 38.
Yeah,
But for the viewers at home, I'll read them out. Column 1 was achiever, builder, caregiver, ecstatic, judge, or leader. And column 2 was networker, penitent, protector, rebel, survivor, or visionary. What would you like to pick out of those 12 options, Leon? I do like how one character's being tailor-made, and everyone else is like, fuck it, roll the dice.
I like rolling dice.
I like rolling. I think it's more fun as well.
You never know
I
what
was
you're
gonna
going to
say,
get.
despite rolling dice, I've ended up with something that seems plausible.
Yeah, I like your character.
Either visionary or the one that Rachel got.
Ecstatic.
Ecstatic.
Let's go with visionary, because let's try and keep it like we'll mix it up so that way when I contact Green Ronin and tell them we're playing their game, they
We
maybe give
don't
us some
really
free
know what
stuff.
ecstatic means anyway. It could mean anything.
I'm hoping it means
You're
happy
really
about
happy.
something. Just super happy all the time. It's like, so they're on drugs.
Fuck.
Yeah, that really works well for Rachel as a person. Oh, a really happy person. Great.
Me and Rachel might have to swap. I don't know.
You might not be wrong there.
Okay, let's find out.
That's
So
what I meant, isn't it?
the first one is judge. Oh, actually, yeah, I'll do it in order. That makes more sense. This has got. This is one of these situations where I don't know how I feel about this game, but fuck it, it's interesting. Right, Logan, you got judge, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Life is all about making decisions and exercising good judgment. You believe in finding out as much as you can about things so you can make informed and carefully considered judgments about them, which, to be fair, isn't that crazy for a survivalist.
Yeah.
So, your quality is your discernment, paying close attention to details and information.
Right.
Okay? Your downfall is aloofness, a tendency to
How the
distance.
fuck do you spell that?
ALOOFNess. Aloofness.
Right.
A tendency to distance yourself from the world around you to remain objective, which again makes sense for a survivalist. And the talent you get a choice here, is knowledge or observation.
I want to say knowledge.
I'll take knowledge then.
Done.
Okay. Now, Rachel is the next one who got ecstatic.
I sure did.
Yep. Life is a banquet and most poor suckers are starving to death. Not you, though. You aim to squeeze every drop of juice out of your limited time in this world, and you genuinely encourage your friends to join in, although you're willing to go off on your own if none of them do.
This feels weird for a bookworm.
Oh, kind of, yeah.
Just doesn't it?
Well, just because she didn't
But
books doesn't mean she
could
doesn't like
fit.
the party. You know, like after a hard day on the books.
Yeah, it's more like adventure, I think.
Yeah.
It could be our book club.
It could be that she was an academic when she
Why
was younger as a
not?
background, and then she got really into and then it gave her a thirst for adventure, and she went off to pilot in the stars. Who knows?
I'm good with this.
The quality is zest for life, and a general willingness to find enjoyment in things and try new experiences. But if you just write zest for life, that is your quality.
Yep.
Your downfall is irresponsibility. A tendency to overdo enjoyment and
That's accurate.
To be fair, I would have argued
Really?
this point, but Rachel did shoot a spider for no reason the other day.
That wasn't irresponsible. That was fright.
That was, it's like, oh my god, that's fair enough. Yeah.
That was panic.
Yeah.
That was just panic.
It was shoot now, shoot later, shoot some more, and if anyone's left standing, be like, yeah, we should maybe question them. Anyway, so your downfall is irresponsibility, and the talent you receive is you can be either attractive or or carousing. So would you want to be attractive or good at carousing?
This matches
What's
up so
carousing mean again?
Carousing is like going to a
Party.
party and having a good time and like getting people to join
I'll
in.
probably be attractive then, because why not?
Yeah. Just always pick attractive if you get the option to do so. That goes for life as well. That is a sanity check thing that we endorse. If you can choose to be attractive, be attractive.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
I'm never sure whether attractive or money is the cheat code of life because both have such high benefits.
I think
it's like both are
attractive. Well, it depends, doesn't it?
because if you're attractive, you can make money.
Yeah.
I have read things before that have said attractive people, by and large, earn more than their less attractive people, and it's just because
think
they're
that's
nice to
true.
look at and people want to
Clearly,
have them.
they've not met Prince Harry.
Hey, no, I mean that's again. He's feeling the money
That's
column,
mean.
didn't he?
Aye. I think they mean earn more money over time.
Scott, you got
It's our
networker, didn't
default.
you?
Yeah.
Networker, where are you? Okay, networker. You're here to make friends because it's all who you know. You may be a genuine people person with a knack for making a good first impression, or a first-class manipulator who understands how to get what you want from people. That's actually again that makes kind of sense. Your quality, Logan. You struggle with aloofness. Like, listen to this quality: gregariousness.
What the
Gregariousness.
fuck is that?
Um,
Is that some
No
Harry
idea.
Potter shit?
I think
I
I've
think
just
this
cast a
game's
spell.
for smart people,
I
guys.
think somebody read the dictionary before writing this book.
I will put the word gregariousness into the chat so you can all see how it's spelled.
Oh no, that's some
I've
Harry
heard of the
Potter
word.
thing.
I
I don't know
have
what
heard it.
means,
It's one of
though.
those words that like I could probably use it if I really had to, but I'd feel like a dick using that one because it's like no, people don't
Great.
talk like that. That's another sanity check thing we endorse. Someone
Where'd
says
I put it?
gregariousness to you. Where do you
Oh,
put it?
off.
Just make a note of it somewhere, mate, and we'll work out it later on.
Is that for me or?
No, that was for Scott. I just thought it'd be funny because I know you struggled with like aloofness. I thought, well, that's a fucking hard word to spell. You're good
Are you sure I'm playing Harry Potter?
That is a spell. Gregariousness. You're good with people at home in social situations and tend to seek them out. Sorry, at home and in social situations. Your downfall is you're overwrought. You tend to get caught up in social conflicts and think finding just the right person is the solution to every problem, making you prone to overly complex schemes. That's pretty cool. So that's
This
overwrought.
feels fit for my character.
Yeah. And your talents are contract or intrigue. Contract, not to be confused with contact, which is also a skill.
What's the difference? Sorry, what's contract in this?
I'm going to say contract is probably to do with like writing up contracts in business, and intrigue would be more like finding out like special plots and stuff. Don't worry, I will read through this again before next week and give you all the definition of this stuff. But I think this is just like they're fine tuning their gaming system and giving you a lot of skills that will never come up.
I'll pick intrigue.
Intrigue does sound like the more fun one to use. What I'll say is that the adventure.
I do like contract, but then I'm sitting there like, it feels like I'd use it once.
What I think I'll do in this game is based on these extra skills you're getting. It'll be like me saying, right, how would you use the skills you have to do what you're doing? And then if you're like, well, I'm going to use my contract to go and like say I'm going to sell some guy some beers, but I'm interested in how it's
like
going.
I like manipulating things, or like as in,
Yeah.
or like reading paperwork and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm trying.
In fact, I might go with contract actually, since this is a intrigue.
Cool. What I would say, just so you know, the adventure that we're going to go on is we're going to be looking for the son of a wealthy merchant. A wealthy merchant whose all his businesses are definitely legal. Right? Whose son has gotten lost. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Leon, what did you pick, mate?
I picked Visionary. The more I'm reading it, the more I'm not liking it.
Right, well, you don't have to pick Visionary, mate. Oh, I see why you don't like it. Okay, that seems like a religious visionary. I literally didn't even read the words. I read the word faith and zealotry. Like, maybe not.
But he could have faith in zealotry in the upper class. He could think that we were born better and we deserve this.
I'm
The
gonna
Scientology?
die first session, man.
Leon's already worried that his character's unsufferable, and you're trying to make him like that as well.
I want to give him at least one good feature.
All I'm saying is zealotry isn't just religious; it just is
That is true,
stereotypes
yes.
to them.
The talents are pretty cool though. But yeah, up to you, mate. Anything you want is whatever you want in there. So
I think I should roll like how
You wanna roll it?
how you guys.
go for it, mate.
I want to roll it.
Roll me.
I
a
can't
D6.
wait till you get like a scumbag one. It's like yours is like one of the worst ones there.
Fuck.
It'll be like alcoholic or something like that.
Okay.
Roll me a D6, mate.
A 2.
A 2. Okay, that's column 1. Roll me a D6.
A 3.
That is a caregiver.
Okay.
That was unexpected, but okay. Let's see how a caregiver does.
He looks
Caregiver.
after his little sibling or something.
Could well be. You're here to help as many people as you can. However you can. You might not be able to help everyone, but you are certainly going to try, and you have a difficult time turning away from anyone in need. Your quality is compassion, naturally feeling and responding to others' needs. Your downfall is self-sacrifice, a tendency to place needs and even physical safety of others above your own.
This doesn't feel right.
I'll be
Feels
honest,
like
man,
the opposite of what his
it
character
feels like,
is.
yeah, it feels like, however, you could also have like his understanding of self-sacrifice or his understanding
So he
of
thinks he's been self-sacrificing.
yeah, he's like
But
He
it's
could
not.
think he's better than you by destroying you and taking all your money because then you'll learn to grow.
exactly whatever horrifying thing
Or-
a billionaire
or
believes. Like,
yeah,
well, they just need
yeah,
more money, so they need to
I
work
know.
harder.
Yeah, it's like I'm being amazing. I'm
people
giving
that
him all this overtime when he's just had a newborn baby. He has a new mouth to feed. He needs to work 14 hours minimum a day.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. So like, imagine like the way Elon Musk would serve the world is by like building us all little towns to live in where we all have jobs and like we're all educated to do a specific task. And then someone
And
goes,
you could also argue like paying for someone's scholarship to be re-educated on why capitalism is amazing.
I could have helped these people. They were living in squalor before, and now they live in my mega factory, which is like really nice.
Mm-hmm. Look at my mega factory. All the shiny chrome, all these lights that are on 24 hours a day. They'll never need to
bad
worry
eyesight.
about lighting or heating.
Yeah, so they don't need natural sunlight because it means the factory can run 24 hours a day, so everyone's really productive.
And the heat from the engines means they don't need to spend money on heating.
You can tell me and Scott have thought about this, right? Bastards! Why do they want this? Anyway, Leon. So, compassion and self-sacrifice is your quality and downfall, and your talent is inspire or medic.
Is it?
Yep. So
I'm guessing it was a doctory skill or a.
Inspire or medic. I think, to be fair, based on what you've said, I'd have thought inspire because medic seems weird, but whatever, mate. Do you want to keep
Could have been a hobby.
I need to be able to heal them so they can work quicker and get back to work faster.
Psychopath.
or you can inspire them by putting up motivational posters in all the staff rooms with little like paintings of a mountainside saying,
You were good enough.
"You can do it."
So you were going to be I was going to give them extra money, but I thought a pizza party would be much better because that will really help. It's like, you fucker. Like, we hate you so much.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And by
I'll
pizza
do
party, he means that you have to buy
slices.
pizza.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just taking
I'm
a
gonna
small
choose,
amount from all of your wages to pay for the pizza party.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for medic.
You're going to go for medic. Okay, cool.
Maybe he's used to looking after people who've done a bit too many drugs.
There's also the good point that he could not care about humans. It could entirely be about like his pet dog or something.
Also very
And it
true.
could be medic for his dog
I bet.
that he has bred, and it's a Labradoodle poodle.
Labradoodle poodle. I love it. I love it.
I think I'm making Leo's character more ridiculous than he planned, and he's so tempted to steal it.
Oh, I'm taking all of that. Yeah, but my character just started out as like this idiot rich guy, and he's became like just one of the biggest pieces of shit. Like,
Okay.
Oh.
Right, there is now a final roll. This is for your income, which income and equipment. Now we'll do this roll, but I might fudge it a little bit. I might do some stuff for the game at work because it's one of these situations where if you're all millionaires, like why would you do anything in the game? But like maybe you know I'll think.
I think only
eventually.
one is can become a millionaire. I can imagine it's based off social class.
Kind of.
Well, it ain't me.
And
it'd be
basically, what
interesting
happens
if
is
I'm upper class and start with none. Like that'd be
Well,
interesting.
you can't start with nothing.
That'll
Basically,
be fun.
you are adding a number to a number. So, for example, Logan starts at 0 because of what he's an outsider. The merchant and the pilot start at 4, and the upper class guy starts at 6. And then you're all going to roll me 3d6. So, Logan, if you roll me 3d6, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you get?
That wasn't me. I got a 9.
At 9. Okay, let me just.
He's
let's see.
wealthy.
Oh, wait, hold on a
Am I?
second.
I got
Oh, hold on a second, actually. No, because I think I've got this wrong.
Actually, no, because you can't get -2 from 3d6.
No, sorry, that's what I'm just reading this. I think I'm actually wrong. Hold on a second. I think. Sorry, actually, no. That's how it works. Yeah, you guys have got 4, so you'd put 4 in it, and you'd put 0 in it, and you'd put 6 in it, and that's where he's landing now. And that's just how much cash you've got access to. You'll also probably get some other stuff. The income test is used to determine what you can afford and what goods and services you can reasonably access. It cuts buying power of accounts, blah blah blah. Yeah, so that comes in later on, but we won't. I don't think that'll come up too much in the one that we're doing, so we don't have to worry about that. It's gaining income, selling things, equipment. That's all fine. Don't need to do any of that. Okay. Now we're going to do the actual rules for the stats. Now, this is a shitload of
Okay.
rules, guys. So,
Oh boy.
oh boy, let's see what's going to happen. Okay, that's all fine. Done that bit there.
is there a standard array?
There is a standard array, which I'll tell you about in a second because I did read that a minute ago. Hell is that? I've done all that. That one. The first section it gives you is the right. So if you go to page, character creation is on page 26. Now, basically, what's going to happen is you're going to roll 3d6 and it's going to be 9 times. However, there is a standard array that we can use if you prefer to do it that way. It's up to you, right? Well, who wants to roll dice and who wants to just do standard array? I'll give you the option.
I'll roll, because why not?
Okay, what's going to
Or
happen?
just a standard array.
Right, I'll come back to the standard array, guys, in a second. Rach, here's what happens. You need to roll me 3d6 9 times. So what we'll do is every time you roll it, just tell me the total, and then I'll tell you what number to write down. Okay?
Okay. First one is 12.
12 gives you an ability score of 2.
Okay.
Just write it, just so you've got a 2 written down, and we'll assign it to each class as we go on. Okay?
Another 12.
Yep, 2 again.
$10.
10 is a 1.
Another 12.
Not 2 again.
10.
1.
This is weird. 5.
5. 5 is a -1.
Right. Another 10.
1. 2 more, Joe.
13.
13 is a 2. Come on, big money, big money, big money.
I don't think I'm getting big money. Oh, that is an 8.
An 8. 8 is a 0.
Okay.
Okay, and that should be all your scores. Now, basically, what happens is, don't worry about the minuses. They're not. It's not like that terrible. It just means that you're maybe not.
I only got 1 minus, so.
Yeah. Right. So now you've got yours there. That's fine. But what's going to happen with the standard array, guys, is basically it's like points by. All your stats start at 0. Right. That's where you start. You get 12 increments you can go up by, and nothing can go up beyond 3. Yeah, please, the one, that'd be lovely. Thank you very much. So, yeah, out of your 9 skills, you could move all 9 of them up to 1, and then you'd have 3 that would go up to 2, or you can just leave some at 0. 0 doesn't mean you're particularly bad at anything, it just means that you're not particularly good at anything. It's like when you roll the d6s, you won't be adding anything onto the skill. Whereas in one case, Rachel's going to be taking 2 away from that. Did that make sense? But Rach, what we'll do is we'll go through yours and see as other guys are doing it differently. So did Leon and Logan understand that? Right, okay. So
Well, they're listening, that's the question.
okay.
No.
It's fine. If you don't understand, I will explain it again. So you see how you have got 9 skills. Accuracy, communication,
Yeah.
constitution, dexterity, fighting, blah, 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 yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, of those 9 skills, the maximum any one of them can go to is 4. But during the points by section, as you can't put them to 4. Like the only person who got a 4 was Rachel because she rolled the dice, but she also got like the downside of that as well. All right.
I basically got 12s or 10s.
Yeah. So you can basically bump them up to what you want. What we'll do is we'll go through the character classes and we'll see which bets for the character classes, and then we'll go from there. All right. But I will help you out. Don't worry. Yes, mate.
I think I'll roll.
You got a roll? Yeah. Okay, go for it. So 3d6.
I got a 15 this time.
Got a
So I
15 once.
roll 3d6s.
3d6
9
9
times.
times, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just tell me what you score, and I'll read out the answers.
This is gonna be my first roll. So I got an 8 to start off with.
8 is a 0.
0. Great start. Number 2. 17.
17 is a 3.
Shit.
3. Another 8.
An 8 is a 0.
A 7.
A 7 is a 0.
Bet I have a 3 and then 0 and a 5 and fucking else. An 8. Fuck's sake.
An 8 is a 0.
This is like
Pick
me. I was
one
getting,
skill to be good at.
I was getting 12s and 10s. Not for some reason, I just couldn't roll anything else.
A 14.
A 14 is a 2.
2.
I've actually been counting these, so I counted Rachel's, but it's because you're making me laugh because they're the 8s.
A 9.
A 9 is a 1.
Yay.
I think that's 3 scores you've got in the positive.
Yeah.
1, 2,
Everything else is a
3,
0.
4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 2 more. A 6.
6 is a 0.
0. Fantastic.
I'm just waiting on that minus. Oh, there we go.
What'd you get?
What do you get?
Was that last
I
one?
I got a 14.
A 14? Oh, 14 is a 2.
14.
I mean, your skills are across the board. I mean, that's like not terrible.
I'm the
Rach,
most
that's
mediocre person you've ever met.
nah, that's not true. You're good at some stuff. Rach, did I say you had a -1 or a -2?
A -1.
That's fine, yeah, because I thought, I'm sure I said -2, but that's wrong. Yeah, it's cool. It's -1, that's perfect. Okay, now, As we went through the character creation, you remember that you did get +1 in some cases.
Mhm.
So you can automatically add that in before you do your points. Then you can just put that one up by 1. All right. So as long,
when you say that, where do we enter these?
they should be in your character sheet. I have not looked at the character sheet, so
It wouldn't let me do anything when I tried.
I will have a look at it now. Give me 1 second.
Just click on the 0. Does that know?
I don't know, mate. I've not looked at that at all. Yeah, like, so see inaccuracy. Can you not just like change that to whatever number you want?
Oh, now I can press the fucking buttons.
Yeah,
Piece
you
of
just
shit.
you highlight it. I've done it.
Right, cool.
I did that before and it didn't work.
It's working now.
Okay.
So
So I have 3 2. No, I have 4 2s, 3 1s, a 0 and a
thank you, Bonnie,
-1.
I appreciate it very much.
Should you put that in the meter?
I've not no, just said Logan do it. Alright, I'll do it when I'm finished.
What am I meant to do?
So,
Not you, mate. Mother Logan. Mother.
Oh,
Tell those at home.
So-
I have
His
a
firstborn.
biological son called Logan, and I have my metaphorical son. Nope, no laughs for metaphorical. Okay.
no.
It's like fuck you, Lee. Sorry, I'll be quiet. Right. So, now I don't know if anyone actually did. Everyone get a chance to look at the skills on the next page on page 27? I guess that'd be.
No.
Okay, that's fine. So basically, what happens is the next section is when you give yourself the skills. Now, based on the point by, Leon, you done roll. Rachel, you done roll. Logan, are you just going to do point by?
What's better?
Mate, do you want to just roll because it's fun?
It's more fun to roll.
I know.
The
Right,
only way you can get a -2 is if you roll 3 1s. So you shouldn't.
it's
It shouldn't
super
be that
unlikely
bad.
you'll do that, yeah.
It's really, yeah.
So,
It's like
what am I
rolling
doing? Is it 3
sixes.
So
3d6s?
3d6, mate. Yeah, 3d6. You got to do 3d6 9 times. So each time I tell you a number, write it down. All right.
Okay, 13.
13, it gets you a 2.
9.
9, it gets you a 1.
15.
15 gets you a 3.
Fucking hell. 13.
13 gets you a 2.
8.
8 gets you a 0.
I can hear myself.
Now mute yourself then. Or
9.
someone has to mute them. 9 gets you a 1. I can also hear myself echoing now.
Yeah, I've heard that echoing for the past little bit. Well,
Is it,
I don't
is
know
it
why.
for me?
Don't know, mate. Is it from
13.
you? 13 gets you a 2, mate.
It's definitely not mine.
11.
11 gets you a 1.
10.
10 gets you a 1.
So I think that's 9, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, mate, that's it. You're absolutely fine. So that's what you've got to distribute amongst your points. Now, the skills that you have fall into categories of this highly specialized system that they've got here. And you all know how much I love highly specialized systems. So the first one that comes up here is accuracy, which is your bows, your gunnery, your pistols, your rifle, and your throwing. So I believe that if you've got any of those things I've read, I think Logan, you've got pistols as one of your specialties you've picked.
Aye.
So you might you might want to pick that as one of your higher skills. Now remember, you did get a +1 for stuff earlier on, so make sure to put that in before we start, and that way you won't get
Okay.
you know, we won't lose it.
Well, I've got a +1 in perception and +1 in communication.
Well, those are both skills, mate. So put them at 1 straight away, and then you can add your other plus on top. But you can add whatever you want on top of that. All right.
Okay.
Lee, do you remember how I got intelligence and on my focus? Does that mean I get one of them intelligence things specifically?
What's going to happen is that's going to be a focus. I'm going to guess that's like expertise. So there'll probably be some kind of additional add on to your role. Again, I will read through this a bit more in depth over the next week. I didn't have time, but I will do it in the next few days.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I'm not going to get too caught up in this because, you know, if games are that specific about things, that seems a bit mad to me. Okay, so you actually pick what you want. Communication has got lots and lots in it. Bargaining, deception, disguise, etiquette, expression, gambling, investigation, leadership, performing, persuasion, and seduction. So again, if you've got any specializations in those things, you might want to put more points in that. Up to you. I am coming through.
Yeah, it's really bad, the echo.
Scott, I think it's coming through you.
I think it's for Scott.
Because it's going green.
I'm only going green when I click things. I'm not hearing through the Twitch or anything.
I
check,
can
check,
hear
1,
the.
2, check.
Hello?
Oh, now I'm not getting it. Check.
Now I'm not. No.
Oh, no, I got it there.
Yeah, same.
Check.
Hello?
Okay.
I'll mute myself.
Hello?
Nah, it's not it now. Okay.
Maybe it was for Scott.
Maybe.
My mic's too close to my headphones.
Oh yeah, maybe it's,
Yep.
it's actually so sensitive it's picking up the actual headphones. That's funny. Right, okay, cool. So the next one was Constitution, running, stamina, swimming, intolerance. You all know how much I love it when swimming is in a.
So I need to ask, like, is this like for every plus we've got in that we pick something for them?
No, basically your this I'm assuming what's happening is this is your base stat. So like, see if you roll the first d6, that would be like your whatever. Let's say you got 6.
Oh, so if I roll an agility roll, it goes towards bows, gunnery, pistols, rifles, and
Yeah.
throwing. But then I can also have skills in those things.
I think what's effectively going to happen, mate, is like you roll it, you'll get the plus for this whatever the stat. Let's say you had 2 in stat that roll, Constitution, you get the +2, and then like say you had swimming as a skill, you then get additional +1 or something. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen. So we're not going to get too bogged down in that. I'm not just reading it out in case anyone ever watches this and they care. Just to fill a bit of time. And also, if you already have a skill in that, maybe it's worth putting more points into it, just based on you having that already. Dexterity, acrobatics, crafting, driving, freefall, initiative, piloting, sleight of hand, and stealth. Which again, I know Rachel's dexterity base because she's a pilot.
Yes, I am. Unfortunately, none of my extras are in dexterity. It's all intelligence.
Next one was fighting, brawling, grappling, heavy weapons, and light weapons. Here's another thing that annoyed me: like fighting and strength are 2 different skills. Like you got brawling.
Yeah,
and
I
grappling.
really feel like they should be the same skill. Looking at how small the things in strength are.
Yeah, it's like, if you're going to do that, then
in
just have
fighting, it's like you've got communications, which is covering all that, and then fighting and strength are pretty much like half on each.
Yeah,
There probably must be a reason why, but
I'll read through it and maybe we'll go. Yes, mate.
because I
Go
picked
see your,
strength thinking grappling would be strength, but it's like not. So I'm gonna have to switch it to fighting.
Leah, what you saying now?
Everybody should go to their talents because certain talents have requirements in terms of different attributes and able to do them properly.
Give an example, mate. I'm sure if you went to the correct section. That's
My talent for let me go down here. Observation requires perception 2 or higher.
I mean, that would make sense. That's why I would say you dump the highest stat in that one. So if you've got perception.
Where's this? What page is it?
57. Oh, page 55.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right, I put stuff in willpower, and willpower sucks in this game. So fuck that.
I can also swap around, guys. We're not too worried about that. That's why I say put your highest stats in your things that you've got.
It says I need
in.
a dex. It says I need dexterity focus. I do not have that.
Well, it's what
My
pilot.
Oh yes, I do. Sorry.
Aye.
Sorry, I'm reading shit wrong. How do I know if I'm getting of as expert or master?
I think that's something that comes along later on.
If I was playing Alien, I'd want my willpower high because it's like standing up to scary things, and it's like, yeah, that seems useful. Being able to, like, choose to run.
Don't worry too much about the master and the novice stuff. Now that looks to me like more like an extended campaign when it's more difficult situations that'll come in.
I think they're trying to make this be possibly like Traveller at times, where you go for ages.
I'm looking at a lot of things here, and that just seems more like customization as your character goes along. So just if you put your highest stats and the ones that correspond to the skills that you guys would need, then that seems to be that'll even it out. And also, I'm not gonna like bludgeon you with rules if it turns out that you've maybe got one wrong. Also, like if you'd rolled like all your stats, you got ones for everything, and you couldn't use the stats you have, that'd be kind of shit. I think that's why it gives you the plus ones and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So don't get too worried about it.
Well, I get a +1 intelligence, so
Yeah.
my intelligence can be 3. Oh.
Good night, Father.
Good night, man.
I think that's me done. Right, let's play.
Night, man. Right, off to bed, come on.
Is that character creation done, or have we got more to do?
That's more or less it done now. If you guys have started up to what you want to be, and just make sure you've got your highest stats and the things that correspond to your character, that should be fine. The setting we're going to be using, as I mentioned, is going to be looking for the son of a legitimate businessman. What I'll probably do is just I'll have you all. I'll think I've got a couple ideas floating around how I'm going to put you together. Mary may or may not be playing with us. I'm not entirely sure. I know she'll be busy, so I'm not massively worried about that. But that was more or less it. It was just a chance to have a look through this. It was a bit more convoluted than I thought it would be, to be honest. But sometimes games are like this.
Ow.
It's one of the ones that I feel like it need to be read, and like having a printout of each stage of character creation would have helped.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think the stages themselves were fairly straight. Like, also, Traveller was like the life path became very convoluted. But even that, it's like
It definitely felt like they were trying to shoehorn in Traveller into the mutant system. I'm not saying that's what they did, but
this
it
is not the mutant
feels
system.
like.
This is not the D6 system.
Oh,
This is,
no,
this
it's just
is,
because it was D6.
No, this is
I just assumed with D6s that's what it was doing.
No, this is not Free League. This is somebody else. This is Green Ronin. They use there's a specific name in the system they use, and I forget its name. Age or something.
I'm not saying like as in everyone's math traveller, it'll have its own things. Like I can clearly see it has its own things. It's just that way where I'm like, there are skills that I feel like there's got to be no rolls for, or maybe a very rare roll. But it does fill out your character a bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always interesting stuff. I mean, like I said, I've never made games massively rolling based anyway. The system it uses is the Adventure Game Engine, or Age. It was originally designed by Chris Parmis, pardon how you say that, for Dragon Age RPG. So if anyone knows any of that stuff, there you go. So it's
I know Dragon Age.
So that's where this all comes from, but I will, of course, make sure I'm more up to date on it. But whatever. Again, I can go through the module and we'll make you roll dice, and if I think you passed, you passed. Does Leon have a question, or is he waving?
Both.
Saloon.
What can I do for you?
Just on her speed, defense, toughness, and armor.
Let's not worry
That's
about
what
that
I
right
was
now, mate.
asking
I'm not
on.
going to pour the pants off anyone else for any more rolls. Go ahead, Scott.
I also found out Affluent makes me as rich as Leon.
As long as you guys have wrote all your
Two
like,
rich douchebags.
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, I know you sort of like it. There's ways that could land together quite easily, and this also works quite well if somebody needs you to go and look for somebody. He maybe has a hold over you in some way, or you have maybe traded in the wrong place, or maybe he has something you want.
My character, I wanted it to be like, you know how people get that like tattoo on their back of the world map on their back, and then they like color it in. I was gonna have that,
For where they've been.
but like on my back, it's like the sort like the milk,
The Milky
like
Way. It's just one
The
small bit
galaxy.
covered in.
however like far the expanse is, and they would have like filled in. They're basically going on their gap year, right? They're rich and they're just traveling around, and
Their gap decade.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm into it, mate. That's fine. Yeah. So you could just, I mean, you could, yeah, that works.
But
For you. If you want to do
that's how
like
it started.
the
But
solar
I
system on
think
your
it's
back, seems quite difficult to get all that in there. But you could maybe just have the list of names or something, or whatever, however you want. You imagine it, mate. You go right ahead.
It could have Mars and like Earth, and then it's like just like a yin yang symbol with some Beller language where it actually just says "I'm a dickhead," but he thinks it says "wise leader."
yeah. This says caregiver. This is what I'm going.
Like just every belt you show it to just bursts out laughing. Like, oh yeah, yeah, it definitely does, mate. Aye. Yeah, I mean, anyway, I mean, I like the idea you've got there, man. Just, I mean, yeah, whatever. That works for me. It's like if you, every asteroid he goes to, there's a lot of asteroids, and some of them are just called like PN0774. Okay, if you want that written in there, there we go. Maybe it's a new tattoo every time he goes to a place, like in a local dialect or something.
Oh yeah. He's like covered in tattoos.
Ow.
And he's also like doesn't dress rich. He dresses like one of those like wealthy people that like dress like they're homeless.
Like
Oh,
incredibly,
God.
they're the worst ones. Just incredibly expensive clothes, but like clothes that are like made for utility, but like you don't notice at first, but if you touch it, like, oh, this material is like incredibly expensive, but it looks just like a pair of jeans. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's...
Oh, Elon Musk.
My character is 100% looking like Colonel Sanders with a giant mustache.
Even his spacesuit has a giant mustache on it.
Yeah.
And has a cowboy hat on
This
top
is
of it.
brand. Of course, he's got the cowboy hat. The cowboy hat and the mustache is part of the brand, so he insists everything he wears, even the safety gear, needs to have stuff.
I'll say like.
I will cause chaos in this. I will not be the straight man for once. I will definitely end up being the straight man.
Just always happens, yes. So like we always go, we're not going to do it, and they're like, I have to do it because they are getting up to crazy shenanigans. And you know, we'll see what happens. I'm excited. I will have a proper read through it. I'm actually, you know, is there anything we want to talk about? Anything we want to cover? Anything else anyone wants to say about the game? Or yes, Rachel.
Because I'm a pilot, do I get a ship?
Yes.
No.
There will definitely be a ship. What I'm going to say though, the problem with playing any pilot in any space game is that you get to use the ship probably once. You go to the place you're going, and then you kind of wander about doing stuff. But you know, then you maybe fly the ship away, Leon.
Is there
What is the ship combat?
Do I get to name it?
Leon.
Rachel Express.
Just wondering how the game will line up with the show.
The game, this game is set between book 1 and book 2. So the Cant tournament knows that means will have been what happened. What happens to the Cant will have happened to the Cant. The thing that happens to the base, the thing happens on, will have happened. But it probably won't touch too much on what we're doing. It doesn't seem worth it. If we ever got around to do maybe more of a long campaign, that kind of stuff, I'll just throw it away. The proto molecule would kind of start popping up. But like, you know, that seems quite hard to incorporate, to be honest, and like see towards as the books go on. Would you just click your fingers at me? I will knock you out. Hey, man, love you.
Don't be so rude.
You need to spend time with your boy.
Yeah, he's fine.
It's his bedtime, isn't it?
It's his bedtime.
Go and read him a story.
My father never spent time with
me. Read him the Minecraft manual.
But yeah, I mean, if you get a chance to watch an episode or two of the Expanse, you might enjoy it. If you don't, well, whatever. Just I really just want you to hear the Belter language because the Belters have the best accent.
He is a Belter. So
yeah, that's how they talk. They talk like Jerry Cinnamon.
I would recommend it. Like yeah, it has pretty cool characters. And
It's on Prime, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on Prime, yeah. What's his name's in it? Thomas Jane, the guy that played the Punisher a long time ago, is in it. He's there. He plays a copper who wears a fedora.
Is that the one John
If he wears
Travolta's?
That's what John Travolta
bad
fights,
guy?
yes.
If he wears a fedora, that means my cowboy hat probably isn't that ridiculous, is it?
It is not, mate. No, that's what it says. Like, there is people that just dress funny and like they just dress from time periods because they like it. So, like, it's much like now. You can go places now, like people dress like cowboys even though like they work in an office. So it's not that crazy that you go to space. It's like, well, what? Just I have to wear overalls because I'm in space? No, I'm going to wear cowboy boots.
I'm the space cowboy.
I'm going to wear a pilot uniform.
Full pilot uniform, like a World
You're
War
wearing the
pilot
Top Gear
uniform.
Maverick, the Maverick outfit.
Instead, I'm going to wear the whole game.
the aviators.
Yeah, you could dress like an old timey pilot, like with a leather jacket, like the kind of parachute pants, like the like the goggles on your head.
Yeah.
Neil Earhart, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
100%. If that's what you want to do, then I 100% support it. Because why wouldn't you? It's like we're in space. I do what I like. It's like not like we wear sensible shoes. There's no gravity. I just kind of float along. So
fuck that. I'm wearing heels.
I wear heels in space. Why? Because I don't have to stand up in them, so it's quite easy.
Logan, what are you?
Just what are you?
I'm a survivalist, builder.
Well, how would the
That's all I know.
survivalist dress, mate?
I'm so tempted to make mine wear high heels because he's really intimidated with how tall the belters are.
Platform shoes.
Platforms, yeah, platforms.
Platforms, but again, he is just floating along, so he could just choose to push himself up slightly, but he chooses to wear massive shoes.
See-through platforms.
Because that would fool people somehow, yeah.
Hey, I seen a YouTube video and the guy was wearing like shoes that added like 6 inches to his height, and other than making his legs look ridiculously long, you wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah. I tell you, Daniel ever watched Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he was wearing.
He wore platform. There's actually an episode where he talks about it. It's that he wore 6-inch shoes because he liked to pretend he was 6 foot tall. So he was like my height. He was like 5'6", and he wore these massive shoes to look taller. It's like
I would get vertigo.
How did he do anything? Like, how did he like chase people as a bounty hunter? Because like, how could you run in those massive shoes?
Lassies have they're like heels apparently, like because it's on the inside. That's how they sneak it. The way it's designed is to make your heels up, and then obviously it does have a thick sole as well. So it's like. There's lassies that can run in heels. I'm guessing you learn.
Well, it couldn't be like a regular shoe.
Anybody, if you remember,
No.
I think you'd be a lot of danger of damaging your ankle, surely.
Heels aren't too bad.
Only makes you shorter.
Plus, it was a reality show, so there was a good chance that the people he was chasing weren't really criminals.
I do remember that show all the time. Like, we're hunting this guy down. It's really dangerous. Like, what's he getting bounty hunted for? Like, he's not paying child support or something. Like, it's not really a violent crime, is it? It's just like a guy that's not paid some money, and then you just like Dog the Bounty Hunter just tackles him in the street.
And then drags him and then has a conversation with him about God in the police station.
I'd rather you just beat me up than have to listen to this nonsense, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
You know, he was meant to come to Edinburgh.
He was. He's meant to go to Comic-Con Scotland a couple of years ago.
I completely forgot about that.
If he ever comes back, we should all get those boots that he was wearing. Just get a picture with him.
Just standing beside him. He's pretty old these days, to be fair, but I don't know what he does himself. I think he was awfully sad because his wife passed away, so...
I bet he got remarried.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
There you go, wasn't that sad then?
No, he probably was, but think about it, like, these Americans do that all the time.
Aye.
I suppose people do.
It must be weird though, being married.
But I mean, like, it's supposed to be quite a common thing out there, like, because when you broke up, it's like they get married like the next year.
That quick?
Let's find out.
I'm saying it would be weird, like being married for so long, and if like they suddenly passed away, like being by yourself, it would be really strange. So I can sort of see why someone would move on.
Yeah,
You know.
get it. Like, who wants to be alone, you know? Hold on a second. Right, it was Dog the Bounty. Let's find out the Bounty Hunter.
This
Right.
is where we find that they had an affair on her while she was dying. It's
Right.
gonna be-
God.
This is
Was she
every
not
time we
arrested at
Google a
one point as
celebrity,
well?
this is what happens. We find out horrible things and we feel sad.
This is what happens. Right, Dog the Bounty Hunter is now 70 years old. Who wants to
It's
play?
actually
Jesus
old
Christ.
thought.
Who wants to play? Guess how old his new wife is.
Ooh.
24.
27.
24, 27? I've not looked. I don't know yet.
You know, I'm
20.
gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I think she's like 40 odds, 45.
You say, oh, that's right. Okay, I am going to say she is 49. Let's find out.
I don't think she's 27, but you never know.
I don't. I have to. Okay, I'll have to actually Google her because unfortunately she.
Imagine like she was super old, like about 90 odd. That would be insane.
That would be funny.
I imagine. It's not very often that
I'm going,
happens.
I'll go reasonable. I'll say 45.
I did 45. Can't do...
I'm sticking with my low number.
Maybe he's late 20s, early 30s.
Right,
If
I
it's,
mean, if he's 70, I
if
feel
it's
like
young,
45.
then, you know.
Francie, okay.
Does I have a feeling Logan Googled it and just changed the number to match it?
Right,
No,
I'm going to
no,
say that
it's
looking at her
no.
face, she is definitely not in her 20s.
She's not. Oh, okay.
She's lived through some shit.
Do we know?
I'm looking at her right now, but I'm just trying to find the age. 52-year-old. There you go. Benefit.
I was way out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Although it is still
80
quite a
year
throw.
difference.
But
Yeah.
then at that age, it does not make a difference.
Although
In
if
fact,
she
it should
was
make
20
more of a
something,
difference.
if she was 20 something, the age difference would be like 40 something years, so it's probably a good thing.
I feel like that would
that
be
she's
oil
not
news or
in
something.
her 20s.
Same with
I just guessed.
DiCaprio stuff.
I just guessed 20s cause very rich man that used to be famous.
I
And
don't
it
know how
happens
rich
a
he would
lot.
be, actually.
Yeah,
Fair.
that's what I
Like to
thought. I
see if
just
he was
thought
like-
famous dude, young woman.
How many times have you heard of this? Actors or like directors and stuff like that. After they're divorced with the first wife, it's the second wife is always like in their 20s. If that.
Yeah.
Now,
It's always for the
What's
money.
his face? Oh, I can't remember his name, but that director, the creepy one that married his stepdaughter.
Oh, Woody
Oh,
Allen.
it's
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
Yeah,
And
he
I think
actually-
I think as soon as she turned like
Yeah.
16, he married her.
He was
Or
married
something
to.
like that.
Creepy as fuck.
Yeah, he was married to. I forget her name off the top of my head, but it'll come back to me. And then you can actually look up videos of him with his current wife on his knee as a child, and him like
Mhm.
just like sitting with this little girl, and then she got older,
No.
and then he married. It was fucking horrifying.
Mhm.
And then
No,
you put
that's
Roman
not right.
Polanski.
Yeah, well, Roman Polanski's a
It's just a
rapist.
pedo.
Right, Woody Allen is 87. Jesus Christ.
I feel like this is just a general chat.
Yeah.
We should probably end the stream.
We'll do. Right. Woody Allen,
87.
Woody Allen's 87, and his stepdaughter wife is now 52 years old.
Jesus
Mia
Christ.
Farrow was her mother. That was her Dr. Man. Yeah, we'll just
She was
go there.
born in 1997.
Well, no, not she's 52. She's not. She's older than
No,
me, so she's born in
that'd be
1987.
70s.
The current
70s.
one.
It's Sun Yi Previn. She's 52, and she's married to Woody Allen.
Oh no, wait, they got married in 1997.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I was reading that wrong.
Anyway, point being, yeah, I think we'll call it there. Dick's D&D is happening probably tomorrow. I'm sure it will be. Scott, what's happening on Wednesday?
Demon Dog.
Demon Dog's cool. I'll be there for that, and then we'll be quiet until Sunday when I'll be running new D&D with new people. Did anyone get a chance to watch it?
I watched it yesterday. It was really fun.
Cool. Hopefully, if the new people are enjoying playing with us and that, we'll get them into some other stuff. But we're doing the intro session first. There's two guys that haven't had a chance to play with us, Chris and Chris. That's great because now we have three Chrissies in Sanity Check Gaming, so that will not be confusing at all.
We'll just go like a Marvel movie.
Yeah, we've got Chris, and Chris. Hopefully, we'll get them involved in the next few weeks. But yeah, so there'll be Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Two of which run by me. And then in the future that will switch up again because I'll probably do Mondays and Thursdays. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So that's me. Scott said, but the Demon Dog. Anyone else want to plug anything?
No.
Just want to say, should we say about Gordon?
No.
Nah, it's not relevant to this one. That's fine. Sanchez Gaming lineup changes all the time, mate. But yeah, everyone who has ever worked with us is always welcome to come back. Cool. All right, that's it, right? So in that case, cheers very much, everyone. Bye.
Hi guys. Do, 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 do.